what is your idea come from in doing this project?
Okay, this is an idea coming from my own experience since school time until now as a lecturer. So I lead the students for doing a program for realizing my own dreams actually.
Okay. What is your target audience for this project?
This target audience actually include students from Form 4 to Form 6 and also our own students as the organizer from first year to third year.
Which I would like to ask.
Did you face any obstacles on doing this project?
Okay, the project just started this year. It's actually started last year, and this year only we launched it because of the financial restriction that we have. Actually, we spend a lot of money, so take time to get the sponsor, which is actually Nurul.
Okay. What is your project advantages compared to other similar type of project?
Okay, this is very different from other innovation competitions for school because we are not one-off. We are having a lot of trainings for the students to do innovation instead of asking them to present any ideas.
The last one is, what is your motivation and what you expect on this project in the future?
Okay, we do hope that this project will be continued and it will be bring to all the schools in Malaysia actually.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a few questions about this project?
Yeah, sure, you go ahead.
Okay, the first question. Why do you use competition-based learning method?
Okay, our motive to using competition-based learning is because to boost their programming resilience skills through the competition-based. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Next, how does this mobile robot can help students, especially from software engineering course?
Okay, basically it is a one way to approach them throughout the programming skills. Because software engineering is basically where students start to learn their programming skills and sort of things. So that's why we approach them through software engineering course.
Okay. What else can be the usage of this robotic robot?
Apart from programming and sort of thing, there are actually a few more sensors apart from IR sensor, which is actually obstacle sensor and the light sensor, which is not only going to detect the line-based.
Okay. Do you think it's a need to expose this kind of robotic to school students?
Yes, actually it is one of our main objectives. That's what we are doing throughout this project.
Okay, last question. How can this existing mobile robot can be improved in the future?
We can embed more sensors so that their decision-making skill can improvise.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the first question, what's your idea come from in doing this project?
Actually, this idea come from my project leader, Professor Muhammad Rafi Majid. He's a lecturer from the FABU. In his class, there's two classes called environment planning and landscape architecture. These courses allow the students to go outdoor and learning. They have to collect all the flora and fauna data and then capture inside the database. So the professor he say, okay, so we have this kind of data. We want to maybe we can create a digital pamphlet for the visitor or other students to understand the flora and fauna found inside the UTM.
Okay, so the second question, what's your project targeted population?
This population is targeted for students and also visitors who are very interested to come to UTM for the ecotourism. Besides this, because this application is only targeted for UTM region, we can also have we can extend to other places like local park, maybe for the park owners or national parks or other eco campuses from other universities.
Third question, do you think that this project would benefit people for a long time and why?
I think it will be there's some benefits, especially during provide more activities for the university to generate extra revenues from the ecotourism areas. As maybe they can have a tour guide who using this application, and then they can teach the visitor how to use the application to find the flora and fauna and explore the biodiversity inside UTMs.
The fourth question, did you face any obstacles when carrying out this project?
I think most of the largest issue is the funding, because this project funding is not too much, and we have limited funding, so we cannot subscribe to many services. This is more technical part. We cannot subscribe to services like online database because we need to pay every month or something like that. So we have to opt for the open sources database like the iNaturalist. Because all the data collection is through iNaturalist. Using the iNaturalist apps to collect data, and then UTM Eco will extract the data from iNaturalist.
So, for the last question, what do you think of your project's advantages compared to other similar type of project?
I think most of the projects have their own characteristic and their advantage too. But for us, we provide a more customized and focused experience for our target audience, because we only want to focus on UTM ecotourism. So we give in the application all the features that is like the data. We filter the data that is only show the UTM databases. So to avoid the confused by the public users. Okay, thank you.
By overcoming writer's block.
So, what is the main purpose of this program?
So, the main purpose of this program is to expose the methods of teachings or the innovations in teaching. Right?
What did the inspirations of this project come from?
Okay, my inspirations of this project is coming from how to improve the students' performance, especially in classrooms. Okay, and how to help students to memorize, to understand, to enjoy in class, to motivate the students to come to the class, and to make sure they captures all the knowledge or the information that we want to give in a class or outside the class. Yeah.
So, what is your target audience for this program?
My target audience in this program is our colleagues, lecturers, teachers, also the students in education also can come and get ideas on the methods or innovations that we have in teaching and learning.
And what is your project's advantage compared to the other similar types of project?
My project?
Yes.
My project advantages? My project is about puzzle game-based learning. Basically, the puzzle game-based learning also used for special needs children. Okay. Other than that, we also use the puzzle game-based learning for medicals purpose, like for elderly which have Alzheimer and so on, which is the objective is to increase their memory and also the focus. So I'm taking the idea from the past research, which is I want to implement the puzzle game-based learning in class, which is with the same focus or with the same objective, which is to improve our students' memory or our student focus in a classroom, which is make them or help them to easy memorize, especially on the drawings parts in engineering.
Okay, so the last question is, what challenge did you face and what the solution did you find?
The challenge, actually not much challenge. The challenge is just to prepare the puzzles, because this project also applied to primary school students. For primary school students, I'm using the picture puzzles. Okay, picture puzzle, which is a physical one, which they can touch and touch and see it. So the puzzle we have to make ourselves based on the topic that we want to talk to them. So I mean, I think the challenge is just to prepare all the materials and make them listen to us. That's it lah.
Okay, thank you for your interview.
Alright.
Okay, good afternoon, doctor. So first I want to ask, what is the objective of your project?
Basically, the objective of this project is to help students so that they can determine the nutrient intake for the horses at the field. So in class, I teach the student how to determine the nutrient intake of the horses. To students, theoretically, they need to know the calculation method. But in the field, it's not practical to calculate manually. So that's why I create this workbook to help them. So basically, it will improve in terms of the practical, and also in case in their internship, also it will helpful for them to work in the stable.
Alright, thank you, doctor. So the second question is, what is the idea or inspiration that sparked this project?
Okay, I teach horse nutrition. Basically, my expertise is in equine nutrition. So I teach students in equine nutrition the topic on the feed evaluation. So like I said before, they need to calculate, they need to determine the intake for the horses. In the ruminant industry, which is the cattle and then the goat and even the sheep, there is established apps or software about the calculation. But in horse industry, in Malaysia, we don't have that. That's why I come up with the idea to create this workbook to help students in their learning process, and also for the postgraduate student also is helpful.
So the next question is, what is the target audience for this workbook?
Okay, for the target, basically the first idea is to help students in their learning process. But this workbook is actually potential to be commercialized. So the target should be within the horse owner. Normally the horse owner, they did not exactly calculate the amount of the nutrient they provided to the horses. So basically the horse, we need to feed the horse according to their requirement. So most in common practice, they not exactly calculate that. So that's why it's a good opportunity to commercialize within the horse owner, also in the industry.
Thank you, doctor. So does this workbook bring any benefits to teachers and students?
Yeah, it's very helpful. Like I said before, in terms of the practical for the field work. So in the field work, there are a lot of horses. They not only feed one horses, they need to feed few horses. Normally around 5 to 10 horses. In Equine Park, in UTM also we have around 5 UTM horses, and we have around, I think the total horses around 20 horses. So it's not practical to calculate manually, to provide the horses with the feed that they did not confirm what is the amount they provide to the animals. So if the feed is not provided in the correct amount, it will affect the health of the horses. So by having this workbook, is not only it's very helpful for them, and then it's a benefit for the animal itself. So it's for both parties also benefit from that, not only for students, for teachers, and also for the animals, for their welfare.
Alright, thank you. So the last question of this interview is there any problems that you encountered when you did this workbook?
I think it's I'm not sure I can say it's problem or not, but to set the Excel, I got my background is horse nutrition. I don't have any background in the computing, in software or all that. That's why I just come up with the Excel workbook. To set the formula, of course, I must be very particular. Need to be accurate and then need to be very precise. So that's the challenge. I cannot make any mistake. If I make the mistake in the setting the formula, of course it will affect the result. So that's the challenge for me.
Alright, so we end our interview here. Thank you, doctor, for your time.